Why do we learn to please others as a way to feel loved? From childhood, we seek approval to survive. Parents and caregivers teach us what is acceptable. When love feels conditional, we adapt to fit the mold. We hide our true feelings to avoid rejection. Carl Jung described this as a split in the self. The authentic you is pushed aside for acceptance. This begins with early attachment and approval. You learn to suppress your real emotions. This suppression becomes a habit. It feels safer to be what others want. You think this is love, but it is a survival strategy. Let me tell you about Emma. Emma was a girl who always wanted to be the good child. Her parents praised her only when she behaved perfectly. If she showed anger or sadness, she was dismissed or punished. So Emma learned to hide those feelings. She became skilled at being agreeable. In school, she was the responsible friend. She said yes to everyone's requests. She avoided conflict at all costs. But inside, Emma felt empty. She never learned to say no. Her identity blurred under others' expectations. In her 20s, Emma entered a relationship. She tried to please her partner constantly. She ignored her own needs to keep peace. Her voice faded behind endless yes. Slowly, Emma forgot who she really was. Her happiness depended on others' approval. She felt lost but was afraid to confront it. This is the hidden cost of people-pleasing. It starts as a way to gain love and safety, but it turns into self-betrayal. You lose yourself trying to fit in. You confuse approval with worthiness. You trade your truth for acceptance. This pattern traps many young people today. In a world of social media and constant comparison, the pressure to be liked is immense. You may think being agreeable means being loved, but it leads to exhaustion and emptiness, because your true self is ignored. You wear a mask to survive, but the mask weighs heavily on your soul. The split between your outer self and inner truth grows. You feel anxious, restless, or numb. You struggle to find peace inside. The first step to healing is awareness. You must see how people-pleasing started. It was a way to get love you felt you needed. Recognizing this lets you begin to change. You can reclaim your voice. Your authentic self deserves to be heard. You deserve love without losing yourself. It is time to stop living on others' terms. You can start living your truth. This journey is difficult but vital. Only by reconnecting with your real self can you break free from the people-pleasing cycle. You can learn to set boundaries. You can say no without guilt. You can find love that accepts all of you. Emma's story is not unique. Many carry this silent pain. But healing begins when you face it. You are not alone in this struggle. Carl Jung said the greatest privilege is to become who you truly are. This means embracing all parts of yourself. The hidden parts and the scared parts. It means choosing your own path, not the one others expect. This choice is an act of courage. The road is hard but leads to freedom. You can stop losing yourself in others. You can start finding your true self again. When you always say yes, what do you really lose? Every time you agree, you silence a part of yourself. People-pleasing feels like kindness, but it can hide pain. You bury anger, fear, and your true needs deep inside. This emotional cost builds quietly over time. Suppressed feelings don't disappear. They grow louder within. This tension turns into anxiety, depression, and endless overthinking. Your mind races, doubting every choice you make. You try harder to control your image but feel emptier. Social exhaustion is not just being shy or introverted. It's the deep fatigue from disconnecting with who you really are. Let me tell you about Jason. Jason never said no to his friends or partner. He feared rejection if he expressed dislike or disagreement. He pushed down frustration, thinking it was selfish to speak up. Over time, he felt invisible in his own life. His relationships drained him instead of supporting him. He felt a constant knot of anxiety in his chest. Jason thought he just needed to try harder. But the real issue was deeper. His yes hid many no, as he refused to say. Every no unsaid chipped away at his peace. His mind became a storm of overthinking. He replayed conversations, worried about what others thought. This mental noise blocked his ability to rest or enjoy life. The irony is that pleasing others became his biggest barrier to peace. When you always put others first, you disconnect from your needs. You forget how to listen to your own heart. Your emotions become strangers to you. This disconnection creates a void inside, a quiet suffering no one sees. Saying yes all the time may win short-term approval, but it steals your long-term happiness. You become trapped in a cycle of anxiety and self-doubt. You trade your freedom for acceptance. Your real self feels silenced and lost. The key to breaking this cycle is learning to say no. No doesn't mean you are bad or unlovable. No means you honor your boundaries. No means you respect your own needs. Setting boundaries is an act of courage. It teaches others how to treat you. It protects your emotional energy. It allows your true self to breathe and grow. When you say no, you reclaim your voice. You stop living as a shadow of others' expectations. You create space for healing and self-awareness. Jason's journey wasn't easy. At first, saying no felt terrifying. He worried he'd lose friends or be judged. But each time he set a boundary, he felt stronger. He discovered relationships that respected his limits. He found peace in honoring his emotions. His anxiety began to ease. He learned to sit with discomfort without running. He stopped overthinking every social moment. He reconnected with himself. This transformation is possible for you too. Start by noticing when you say yes out of fear. Ask yourself what you really want to say. Practice small acts of saying no. Notice how it feels to stand for yourself. It's normal to feel guilt or anxiety at first. These feelings mean you are changing old patterns. Be patient with yourself. Each step toward honesty is growth. You are worthy of love without sacrificing your truth. Your emotions are valid and deserve space. When you honor yourself, others learn to honor you. This is the path out of anxiety and exhaustion. It is the path back to you. Remember Jung's words about becoming who you are. You cannot become your true self without setting limits. The journey may be uncomfortable, but it is freeing. You will find strength you didn't know you had. You will stop losing yourself in the need to please. You will start living as your authentic self. This is real emotional freedom. Many young people confuse approval with love. They chase likes, compliments, and validation. Social media feeds this craving, making approval feel like survival. But Jung warned, this craving blocks your true path. When you depend on others to feel worthy, you lose yourself. You start to wear masks trying to be who others want. This endless performance drains your energy and identity. You forget what you truly feel, want, and need. Let me tell you about Emma. Emma grew up seeking praise from teachers and friends. She learned early that being good meant being liked. On social media, she posted perfect moments to get approval. But inside, Emma felt empty and anxious. She wondered, who am I really beyond the likes? She began to doubt her own feelings. Her self-worth became tangled with how others saw her. Emma's addiction to approval created deep loneliness. She feared rejection so much she hid her true thoughts. Her anxiety grew, fueled by constant overthinking. She replayed every message, every comment, searching for signs. She lost touch with her own voice. This need to be liked kept her stuck. She avoided risks, feared being authentic. The more she sought approval, the further she drifted from herself. She felt trapped in a cycle of pleasing and self-doubt. This is a trap many face today. The pressure to be perfect, popular, and accepted is overwhelming. But approval is not the same as love. True love accepts your imperfections and truths. Approval only accepts what fits its ideal. Chasing approval is chasing shadows. It leaves you hollow and disconnected. Jung's idea of individuation means becoming your true self, not who others want you to be. This requires breaking free from the approval trap. Emma began by questioning her need for external validation. She started noticing when she acted out of fear of judgment. She practiced saying her own opinions quietly at first. It was scary, but it opened a door. She found moments of peace when she stopped pretending. Her anxiety lessened as she trusted herself more. She learned to sit with discomfort, knowing it meant growth. Emma discovered real connections with people who valued her true self. She realized she didn't need everyone's approval to be worthy. This shift was painful but liberating. You may feel lost at first without constant approval. But this space is where you find yourself. Your self-worth grows from within, not from outside. Your identity becomes clearer and stronger. You stop overthinking every interaction. You rest in knowing you are enough as you are. This journey takes courage but leads to freedom. You reclaim your voice in your life. You learn to love yourself without conditions. You begin to heal deep wounds of insecurity. You break the cycle of people-pleasing and anxiety. This is true emotional liberation. Remember, approval is fleeting, but self-love is lasting. The approval you seek from others pales compared to the love you can give yourself. When you stop mistaking approval for love, you start living authentically. This is the path Jung invites you to take. Becoming who you are means letting go of masks. It means embracing your true, imperfect self. It means stepping into your power, even if some reject you. Because true freedom comes when you stop chasing what others think. You start chasing who you truly are. Authenticity and acceptance often feel like opposing forces. You want to be yourself, but you fear losing others' approval. This fear keeps many trapped in a cycle of pretending. You hide your true thoughts and feelings, fearing rejection. Jung described this as the struggle between the persona and the self. The persona is the mask you wear for society. The self is your true, authentic being. Choosing authenticity means risking loneliness. It means facing doubts and inner conflicts. But it is necessary for growth. Let me share the story of Jason. Jason always said yes to friends and partners. He avoided conflict, fearing loss. But deep down, he felt exhausted and invisible. One day, Jason started setting small boundaries. He said no to things he didn't want to do. Some people were upset, others distanced themselves. Jason felt the sting of rejection, but he also felt relief. For the first time, he saw his true self reflected back. The loneliness was real, but so was his strength. Jung believed the path to individuation is through this dark night. You must lose the false self to find the real you. This process is painful but transformative. You question old beliefs and habits. You feel torn between comfort and truth. You doubt if you will be accepted. But each step closer to yourself is a step toward freedom. You stop living for others' expectations. You start living for your own values. Social acceptance can feel like safety, but it can be a prison. Pretending to be someone else drains your energy. It causes anxiety and overthinking. It disconnects you from your emotions. By contrast, authenticity nurtures your soul. It allows true connections to form. Even if some leave, the ones who stay value you deeply. Jung taught that embracing your shadow is part of this. Your shadow holds your fears, doubts, and parts you hide. Acknowledging it is hard, but necessary. It brings wholeness and self-awareness. Jason's journey was not linear. He struggled, stumbled, and retreated at times. But he kept returning to his truth. His anxiety lessened as he accepted all parts of himself. He found peace in being imperfect but real. You too can begin by noticing where you hide. Where do you avoid honesty to be liked? What feelings do you push down to keep peace? Try small acts of courage. Speak your truth gently. Set simple boundaries. You might lose some people, but you gain yourself. The pain of rejection is real, but temporary. The joy of self-acceptance lasts. You grow stronger with each step. You learn that being disliked is okay, because being true to yourself is priceless. This is the essence of individuation. Jung calls it becoming whole. It's not about pleasing everyone. It's about being whole inside. When you choose authenticity, anxiety fades. You stop overthinking every interaction. You stop fearing loneliness because you know who you are. You embrace solitude as a space for growth. You become your own safe place. This journey isn't easy, but it is worth every struggle, because only through authenticity can you live freely. Only through truth can you find peace. Your inner conflict is a sign you're growing. Lean into it. Let it guide you home. You are not alone in this. Many walk this path before you. Each step is a victory. Each challenge a lesson. You are becoming who you were meant to be. The mask will fall away, and beneath it lies your true self, waiting to be seen, heard, and loved. This is the gift of choosing authenticity. You often confuse approval with love, thinking if people like you, you are worthy. This mistake is common, especially in today's world. Social media teaches us likes and comments equal validation. But this is a shallow kind of love, one that depends on others' opinions. Jung warned us that chasing approval traps us in a false self. You become a reflection of what others want to see, not who you truly are. Let me tell you about Sarah. She spent years crafting an online persona, always posting perfect moments. She chased followers, seeking their approval like oxygen. But offline, Sarah felt empty and anxious. Her self-worth was fragile, built on others' fleeting praise. One day, a comment hurt her deeply. It shattered her carefully built image. She spiraled into overthinking, questioning everything about herself. Sarah realized she was addicted to approval, and it was stealing her identity. Approval is conditional. It changes with moods, trends, and people's desires. When you tie your value to it, you lose yourself in the process. This need for external love feeds anxiety because it's never enough. You keep trying harder, changing parts of yourself, and still feel empty inside. This cycle makes you overthink every word, every action. You replay conversations, wondering if you said the right thing. You fear rejection so much, you lose touch with your feelings. The deeper fear is, you might be unlovable if you stop pleasing. But true love, self-love, is unconditional. It accepts you with all your flaws. It does not demand perfection or masks. Jung's process of individuation requires you to separate from this false need for approval. It means facing the truth. Not everyone will like you, and that's okay. It's better to be disliked for being yourself than loved for a mask. This truth can feel lonely and scary, but it is freedom. You stop running from your authentic self. You stop the exhausting dance of constant people-pleasing. A young man named Leo shared this struggle. Leo was a people-pleaser in his family and work. He always said yes, sacrificing his own desires. His anxiety grew and he felt trapped in his own life. Leo started therapy, where he learned to notice when he was seeking approval. He practiced saying no, feeling the discomfort, and still standing firm. Slowly, Leo rebuilt his identity, away from others' expectations. His anxiety lessened, and he found peace in his true self. Approval addiction feeds anxiety and overthinking. It keeps you disconnected from your feelings. It stops you from setting healthy boundaries. The more you seek to please, the more you lose your voice. Social media magnifies this. We constantly compare, measure likes, and seek validation. But behind the screen, real feelings are buried. You fear silence because it means facing yourself. You distract yourself with approval seeking. The first step is awareness. Notice when you change yourself to fit in or be liked. Ask yourself, who am I without others' approval? Can I accept myself as I am? This is uncomfortable, but necessary. Practice small acts of honesty. Speak your mind gently. Say no when needed. Feel the anxiety, but don't let it control you. Each time you choose authenticity over approval, you reclaim your power. You take steps toward individuation. You break free from the false self. You stop overthinking every interaction. You start trusting yourself. This is the path to true self-love. It is not about being perfect. It is about being real. When you stop mistaking approval for love, you open space for genuine connection. You attract people who love you for who you truly are. This is freedom. This is healing. This is growth. Jung's wisdom guides us here. Become who you are, not who others want you to be.